Hi everybody, BionicDance here, and this is probably going to be my last video of 2012, and also my computer has not yet arrived, so again this is going to be an unedited ramble. I hope you'll put up with it. Some of you like these better. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm an atheist and why I make these videos. You see, well, here's the thing. I don't believe in the supernatural pretty much at all. I am a skeptic. Most of you know this. In fact, a lot of this, I mean, for many of you, this will be a repetition of things you've heard before, but some of you are new to my channel. I have actually gotten a lot more subscribers, a few new ones in the last couple of days. I don't know where you're all coming from, but hey, welcome aboard. And so I thought I'd give an explanation for why I do this. And like I say, I'm a skeptic. I want evidence for the things I believe in before I'll believe in them. I want to know that things are true before I say, yes, I will commit some space in my head to saying this is, in fact, the case. And I don't have that for anything supernatural. You know, I can't cast lightning bolts from my fingertips. I've never seen aliens abduct anybody, and I've certainly never seen a big beardy man who created the universe. It's just never happened. You see, I would love to actually have evidence of magical things. I think that would be really, really cool. You know, but as far as I know, there is nothing supernatural out there. But you don't see me making too terribly many videos talking about people who genuinely believe in just plain old magical things. I make videos about religion. So why have I singled out religion? Well, generally speaking, it's because magic, just in general, the supernatural in general, doesn't tend to come with dogma. And if it did, it's generally not very hurtful dogma. Religion, on the other hand, does tend to do that. Religion has this tendency to have built into it certain things that maybe the religious don't look at it this way, but in effect it comes out as bigotry. It really does. I mean, name for me a religion that doesn't have homophobia built into it. I'm sure there's a few, but precious few. Especially the really popular ones these days, like the ones based on the Abrahamic religions, you know, the big three, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all have homophobia built right into them. And yeah, there's some subsets, some, you know, splinter factions of those religions that have tried to somehow breed the homophobia out of them, you know, or they're like, well, we're a gay-friendly church. Oh, good for you. But the fact of the matter is that homophobia is built into the dogma. Maybe you've written it out of your sect, but that doesn't change the fact that it really is there in the core documents of your religion. And you know, that, and it's not just homophobia. I mean, there's lots of other things. There's a lot of hate the other built into religious dogma. And you know, even if there are kinder, gentler religions out there that aren't the Abrahamic ones, well, they're just not the dominant faiths in this world. Religion is used as an excuse to be extremely crappy to other people. And that's why I do this, is because there are these people who have these beliefs that are based on, frankly, bullshit, or at least the unproved, and probably the unprovable, and frankly, I would say the untrue. I think these things are untrue. I mean, maybe it turns out religion is true after all, and all the evidence is just hidden, but I'm inclined to doubt it. Regardless, I don't think religion is true because of the lack of evidence. But, okay, we have all these people who are using religion as an excuse to be extremely crappy to other people. And they can't prove that any of it is true. So their excuses are all based on bullshit. why wouldn't I fight against this stuff? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't any right-thinking person, why wouldn't anyone who cares about other people fight against religion? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just saying. And then also, on top of that, you've got the fact that a lot of people out there, a lot of religious people out there seem to think that religion can take the place of actual science, of medicine, things like that. They think, well, we don't actually have to go to a doctor, we'll just pray the sick away. And that just doesn't work. I mean, again, we don't have any evidence that prayer is going to make people get better. We do have evidence that medicine and surgery will make people get better from things. So, once again, we've got people who've let their children die because they'd rather pray than go to a doctor. Now, okay, granted, there's people out there who can't afford a doctor. Separate issue, separate story. Point is, there are people who can afford a doctor, who can do all of this stuff, but choose not to. I mean, as I understand it, Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets, was a Christian scientist. Totally could have afforded to go to a doctor. Dude was probably a millionaire. Decided not to because of his religion, ends up dying from the sick. Okay? That's not all right. I liked the Muppets. Anyway, point is that religion takes otherwise well people and turns them into chowderheads and pits them against one another. I mean, it's not just like religious people against the atheists or atheists against the religious people. Sometimes you get religious people against religious people, and atheists are either caught in the middle or watching going, my gosh, what are they doing to each other? And it causes turmoil on the planet. It really does. It's horrible. And that's why I fight against religion. That's why I make videos. Because life would be so much better if people would look around and get a clue and say, okay, yeah, I need evidence too before I'll believe in something. And once I've started believing in something, I'm not going to use it as an excuse to make someone else miserable just because of my beliefs. I'm not going to force those beliefs on other people. And even if they are true, I mean, let's suppose there is a God out there, and that God says, well, you have to hate somebody else. You have to make someone else's life worse just because of who they fall in love with. Are you really going to obey that God? I mean, suppose there is a big beardy man who invented the universe, who just went, poof, and there it is, right? Does that God really have the authority to tell you how to behave? I mean, your parents fucked and made you. Do they get to tell you what to do just because they made you? No. You grew up and you got independent. Can't we from a God? I mean, wouldn't a God be proud of us to see us leave the nest like that? I think that would be part of the point, wouldn't it? I mean, obviously I couldn't presume to speak for a deity if one existed, but I'm thinking that might be a possibility instead of us all saying, well, no, we have to submit to his, her, its, or their will. I mean, just consider that for a minute, that maybe we're not always children or sheep when it comes to a God. Maybe your assumptions are not all true. Just saying. But anyway, yeah, so I make videos like this, and, like my more slick edited videos, at least I'd like to think they're slick, because, honestly, I want the world to be a better place. I want it to be a more comfortable place. I want people to stop treating each other like shit. That's why I make videos, and really for no other reason. And, maybe I don't succeed as well as I'd like from time to time. Maybe I don't. But, it's a worthy endeavor. I think it is, anyway. And so, I'd like to think that I'm doing my part in some small way. And, every now and then I get that private message from somebody telling me that I've changed their life in some positive way. I'm sure a lot of people who make videos get that message. And of course, from time to time, I get that message from someone telling me I'm an ugly, fucktarded douchebag. So, hey, you know, it balances out. I'm just saying. And I say I'm just saying too much. I know that too. Anyway, until next time, fellow space travelers, I'll see you next year. This is BionicDance signing off.